If you give me 2 seconds of your time, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for following me so far. This really can't be done without you, the listeners, so thank you. Welcome to Underdog to Owner, where we dive into inspiring stories from entrepreneurs and innovators. I'm your host, Paul Atkins, and today I'm excited to be joined by Jamie Houston. Jamie has built his career in waste management and is someone I really respect. Serious work ethic, always positive and always pushing to improve. Jamie, welcome to Underdog to Owner.
When you understand the effects you've had, and when you're a team,
Yeah,
and that's why for me, for where we are now in my business now, I look at my business as, I call it now, my fruit bowl.
yeah,
And I cannot, because I've sold and I've retired and I've come back out of it and I'm going to start again, and like you'd bloody do. My business, I'm not carrying people.
No.
I haven't got numbers.
No.
They're all people.
yeah,
And they've all got a job to do. And if I put one bad apple in my fruit bowl, that's going to jeopardise my business. I can carry it back. When I was at Countryside, I had handfuls of bad
Of
apples.
course.
Handfuls, because you're so big. That's
Exactly.
just numbers. Here, carry it, they'll carry it. But when you're back down to
You can't afford them.
and there's half a dozen, there's a dozen of you, there's only you start realising you can't have a bad apple.
I
So
totally agree.
The important thing is people.
I totally agree. I think that's something that we grew and we got to a size. And I think that's something that you're saying is that, people, getting the right people on the pitch.
Yeah.
Is really important in any business. And like you say, if you have one bad apple, if you're massive, the bad apple seems to get lost in the numbers.
Yeah.
But if you're tight,
Yeah.
it's really important.
Notice your bad apple.
You do. And
I can't do negative. I don't like negativity.
No,
don't
you're
like
a
it in my
positive
life.
guy as well.
Love
yeah.
it. My glass is always half full.
I was going to
always.
mention that.
I love positivity.
Yeah.
I can't be around negative
No.
people, and even I'm obviously chairman at Bearsted Football
Yes.
Club, and that. I'm going to step down this year. I've done 7 years, but
that's amazing.
It's just
though.
something that I really try and ingrain into people in there, and because it's like parents and kids and managers, and everyone's got an opinion. You become like a member of parliament. You know what I mean? You become like
Diplomatic.
Oh my God!
I've been there.
Upset some, you please others. You can't. You're a politician.
You can't please everyone.
You can't.
I've done it both, Jamie. I've done management and I'm chairman at K Sports.
Yeah.
And you know what? The chairman side of it. Well, I mean, let me just say that before. Obviously, Bearsted Football Club and what you've done there has been unbelievable. Right? I go up there and I love going up there. I was up there the days when we used to ground share.
Yeah.
So we were APM then, and we used to ground share with Bearsted.
Yeah.
And what it's come on since then, and you taking over. Like I say, I was actually going to mention it at the beginning, and I kind of forgot again. But you're probably one of the most positive people I know.
Yeah,
You're always walking around with a smile. You attract people. That's what you do. People seem to like you, and
But I enjoy being that person.
But I can
Do you
see
know
that.
that?
Yeah,
I do.
and you know the genuine.
I've mellowed out a little bit in life. As
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Christ, there were times. I'd chase someone for 10 miles in a car just to have a row with them, because when I was young, things happen to me in business now. It just happened to me literally last month. And my lady, my director that runs it for me, she said to me, "You're quite chilled about it, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah." I said, 10 years ago, I'd have drove up there, I'd have put my car straight through the front of their offices, and it'd have been like a pantomime.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was so strung up and
No, I
highly
get it.
strung.
And I think it's the best way.
Yeah, listen, I
do think it's the best way.
You just got to go. It's passion.
I agree. And do you know what? I had a CEO. I got on really well with him. He was a lovely guy. Wasn't. Lovely. Let's just keep it as a lovely guy.
Yeah.
He was a really lovely guy, and I got on really well with him. He used to give me a little hug before the board meetings, all that. I got on really well with him. And he said one thing to me, because I was really stressed at the time. And he said to me, "This is a game, don't you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, this is a game, work, business.
Yeah.
The group." And I went, "Okay." He went, "Well, you got two choices." He says, "You can play it smiling, or not."
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of get what you're saying here.
Yeah.
I can carry on smiling while I'm doing it.
Be enthusiastic.
Yeah.
I like to be around people, and I've got to tell you one bit of advice in business is just be around clever people.
Yeah, I agree.
Be around smart people.
I agree.
But the lady that runs Sonia now runs my Midas Waste for me. She's a director.
Yep.
Smart woman.
Yeah.
Love being around her, because I've got all the ideas. I've got all the plates spinning, and she just settles it down and puts it all into perspective for me. And you just need people like that around you.
Yeah, you do.
When I sold Any Waste, I stayed down an earn out for 3 years. I then bought it back with Country Style. And we joined together, and two became one. So my competitor we all was one, and sat on a board of directors, and we done what was called an EMI scheme.
Yes. So just explain, Jamie.
So an EMI scheme, very simply, is you value the company. Yeah. So if I came into your business today and you said, right, my shop here is worth £1 million, that £1 million is always yours. But if I come to your shop and we grow that to 10 shops and that business is worth 10 million quid, then we share the 9 million quid. Yeah. But I'm not going to take away all the hard work that you've done. So in the long short, that's what we did at Country Style. Yeah. I remember going there thinking I need to sell my business because I want to be like them one day. When I actually got there, they was in a worse state than I was when I was a little old anyway. So I used to look up to them, and I was always worried about what they were doing and all that type of stuff. Another big learning curve. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. No. Let them worry about you.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I agree.
There's a saying I always have in my books: winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners.
Yeah, it's true. That's so true. That is so true.
And I got there thinking, my God, I wanted this lot to be. I wanted them. I aspired to be like them. When I got there, I was almost embarrassed to think there was nowhere near like the level we'd done. But the two done well to Clout. I got all my best drivers, all this type of stuff. We linked in. And we done an EMI scheme, so I knew you don't even have to put any of our own money in it. It was just two businesses merged. So the bigger the cake, the bigger the slices, you get them shares. So basically, you're getting shares in a business. The bigger you grow it, the better you do. So I sat on a board of directors with 4 other guys and one lady later on eventually. But one of them was a lawyer, a solicitor, Stuart Butler Gully. He sold my business anyway, so very, very clever man. Chris Howard was, we voted him as MD, great encyclopedia of knowledge, and the FD. And the FD was very good because he understood the waste industry. And I used to sit in that room thinking, I'm in awe of you guys. And I think, I can't engage with their T's and C's and putting stuff up on the screen and them writing contracts and tendering for this work. But I used to think, why am I sitting here? How do I earn this seat on here? And I used to say it to them every now and then, and they just used to say to me, we can't do what you do. Exactly. You go out there and you're a people person, and that's my skill. I can get the best out of people. I can go and relate to people. I can go and actually jump in a lorry and do your work. So I have a bit of respect. I'll respect you and you respect me. And if I ask you to do work, it's because guess what? If you don't do it, I'll jump in the lorry and I'll go and do it. Okay. So I think you need pieces of the puzzle.
You do.
I loved being in that room. I was the least cleverest person in that room, and I learned more from that room on the rights and the pluses and minuses and where I thought I was right and wrong. But them guys, to be in a business, the one thing they did always teach me is if you need, I'm trying to word this in a nice way, if you need somebody whose capabilities are somewhere between 3 and 4, employ someone whose capabilities are between 5 and 8, because then they can aspire and then you can grow and have someone who's actually, there's no such thing as you're over-educated for the job. You're not too good. You're not
no such thing.
Absolutely not. So these guys, we built the business. We then tried selling it. Because on an EMR screen you'll have a trigger point.
Okay.
So we got it to 70 million turnover.
Yes.
Just literally a few quid short of 70 million. So a 50 million growth in 8 years.
That's unbelievable. That's some going.
With no acquisitions. That's pure organic growth.
Organic, yeah, wow.
Local authority work. Yeah. We built plasterboard recycling facilities. It was great. One thing I always learnt and loved, we used to call it Monday prayers. We would all meet on 7 o'clock Monday morning. We'd all be in the boardroom. What are you doing this week? What are we doing this week? What are we doing this week? I've got this opportunity. But if we buy that, if we purchase that, can we make we'd make a decision there and then, which differentiated us from your blue chip companies, your Biffers, your Violas, where they had to go through
that process would take so months, long.
Where I could get an answer with you Monday morning. I knew by 9 o'clock I'll have you an answer for that. And I knew what he was doing, he knew what we was doing, and we just communicated and built an amazing business. Once it didn't sell, then unfortunately the chairman brought in his younger son who wanted to take over the business, and we just didn't get on. No. So I was a little bit too long in the tooth. I didn't really want to go back through all that. No. So came away, cashed in my shares, which was phenomenal. You know, you look and think, so it just, sometimes by having a smaller slice of a bigger cake, being in business with other people and using the clever people around you.
I agree.
On my own, me and Richard would never have built a 70 million.
No, you've got a limit. You've got a limit. Like
I think me and him could probably do it easy. Like
easy.
now I know what I know. But
you know
at the time, it was just the team of people around you. And that was when I say to you, I walked past one office and there's HR, compliance, health and safety.
Yeah.
You're looking at these people going, how much money are they costing us? But without them people, I couldn't tender for
of course you couldn't.
local authority work. I couldn't go and win a £10 million contract.
Do you know what? I had a meeting with a guy. I have a meeting with him every month. He's a good friend of mine and he wants to know about advice. And we sit down and we have a coffee and we talk about advice. And that's that advice I've just given him. So I said to him, when you get to a certain, go out and get someone that can take you to the next level.
Yeah.
I said, don't be proud. Yeah. Don't sit there going, well, I know it all, because you don't.
Nah.
I said, you're in the wrong room if you're the smartest.
Yeah,
I said, you're in the wrong room.
100%.
And you basically said exactly 100%. That. And I said to him, never be proud of making sure that the business will go from strength to strength if you bring somebody in that you're not good at. Yeah. What you're not good at, 100%. Go and find somebody that is good at. And I said, and he just went, and to be fair, he takes it on every time I meet him. Yeah. And it's like, no disrespect, he comes in and he goes, I did that and it worked. I'm going, that's
Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about what money you're making.
No.
Break even.
I said that to him.
My business plan was 3 years, I'm going to lose money.
I said that to him.
You've got to do that. You can't, it will never grow. And what you've just said is that,
it's so true.
If you're in the room with the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room.
100%.
Yeah, and I
totally
do you know what? I was like a bit like yourself, Jamie. I was never the smartest. No. And I was happy with that.
Yeah.
And I used to sit there and absorb it. Yeah. I didn't know what a KPI was. Yeah, Someone told me what a KPI was. I was like, what's a KPI?
I thought it was peanuts.
Yeah, CVRs, CVRs and all the stuff that I never knew. Yeah. Like I sat in a boardroom and they throw numbers at me and I'd just be like, yeah, exactly. I was like, what do they even mean? And I think someone said to me the other day, when they was saying about accrued this and accrued that, and I'm going, I'd look at it and there was words being thrown at me that I'd never heard of, abbreviations that I'd never heard of, and very similar to yourself, laptops and PCs, I couldn't read or write.
No.
So I had to learn
on it now, but
I'm not great.
I've got the right team of people around
me. I agree.
I can start a sentence, they will finish it for me.
And exactly.
I ask them, look, you know what I want? Yeah, leave it with us. We know what you want.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can take the world on with that. I feel like with these people around me,
of course,
they've been with me, loyal to me, and these type of stuff. That's what I need.
And you seem to absorb it really well, really quickly. A bit like myself, I absorb it. It take me a bit of time, but I'll absorb it. Yeah. And then I try to use the people around me.
We wing it.
Yeah.
And listen, most of my life you wing it.
I think every entrepreneur that I've had a conversation with, they're like, I'm going from one thing to the next. I'm just winging it, until you get to...
Fake it till you make it, they call it, don't they?
That's so true. Yeah. And I think I've been doing that, and I think there's a lot of us that have been doing it. Yeah. But but you, with the Richard thing, so we missed a little bit, didn't we? So you obviously sold... Yeah, with Rich.
Yeah. Richard went off. He didn't want to work with the corporate world.
No,
he wasn't. He's unmanageable. Bless him.
Yes,
but in a positive way.
In a good way.
He loves. He's got his drive, and he wanted to go. One story I will tell you, you've got to believe, right? So obviously, when you do an earn out, you get your big lump up sum, and then you got to work a couple of years. And one morning, we both used to still get in there because even though you do an earn out, you've still got to actually naturally run it like it's your own. It's a bit of a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I'm not a great lover of earn outs anymore. I think you've got to cut your ties. It's a little bit like saying you're going to split up with your girlfriend and watch someone else take her out for dinner or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know if it works like that. You've got to be. So earn outs can be a good or bad thing. But listen, for me at the time, it seemed to work.
Yep.
Richard went off, and I remember when we got our first payout before he went, I rang in the morning. We was in the office. No Richard. So I thought, where's he up to anyway? Lunchtime, still no Richard. I thought, I'm ringing him, no answer. I thought, I wonder if he's all right. And then the boys were all going home about 4 o'clock of the night, and it was about 3:45, and the phone rings Richard. And I can hear this whistling, and it sounds like he's like running down the road, or like this whistling, like obviously got the window open or something like that in the car. What are you doing? I said, we just got, where you been? oh, got something to show you. I said, what you got? No, make everybody wait there.
Oh,
He
my
made all the
God.
blokes wait there, right? This is nowhere of a lie. About 4 o'clock, I could hear him coming before he even got in the yard. He'd just gone out and bought himself a Lamborghini.
Oh, I remember it.
convertible.
I remember it.
Fucking hell.
Was it the black one?
Brings it
Yeah.
in the yard with
Oh,
orange interior. Brings it in the waste yard with all the dust and shit. Spins it and fucking dust
I
up
love
like the
it.
Alamo. And then drives off, revving it up all over.
He
the place.
didn't care.
And I went, that, honestly, he just, me and Richard could write a book on some of the stories that we did, honestly.
don't doubt that. Honestly,
Oh,
the man is like, I've known Richard a long time, and you love him. He's infectious.
Yeah.
And I'll get on well with him. I can ring him up anytime, and I'll
I
talk
don't
to
know
him.
anybody. He'd lend you his last penny.
He's a genuinely lovely guy. Wildish. I mean, he's calmed down. He's calmed down a massive, but he's still wild.
Yeah.
But I think there's not many anyone that doesn't meet him and goes, "Oh, he's a top guy."
He would do
Good
all
guy.
the things that you would cringe and say, no, don't do that,
I
don't
know,
say that. He
I
just
know.
does it and
He says it,
you
doesn't
just
he?
have to laugh.
He
and
don't
say,
care, does
no.
he? And I
spent most of my life going to visit the transport manager. He must have sacked 5 times. The head of transport, he must have sacked him. 5 drivers. I was always on the phone.
Brilliant.
He didn't mean it. Come back tomorrow.
Love him.
And he just
Love him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but
we've had some great
and do you know what? So you obviously with that you've sold, and then you've jumped onto countryside.
Yeah, so
is
I
that
jumped
correct?
onto countryside and stayed with the business, really. Sold it into it. Richard then went down to Ashford.
Yes.
Done a little bit of car sales and stuff like that, and then he went down and got involved with a company then now called Greenbox.
Greenbox, that's it.
And again, Richard did. I'm sure he'll tell you his story one day. He's had some tough times, bless him.
He has, yeah.
We and so when I sold my shares at Country Style, I invested into Greenbox with him again.
Yeah.
Me and Richard went through a little stage in our life where we just had a couple.
Yeah, he separated.
Few years we didn't talk too much, and I had my focus in life. He had his focus in life, but it's just meant to be, and we just
of course
started talking again, got back in
Good.
together, and I loved the fact what he'd doing. He loved what I did. I introduced him to some people who left Countryside. That's where Midas was started. So Richard's in on me with Midas Waste as well.
And that's your new business, isn't it?
Midas Waste. So Richard owns part of that as well. I've got now part of Greenbox. So the synergies make perfect sense.
Perfect.
Do you know what I mean? We're in the waste. I focus on the pink lorries, on the Midas Waste, and Richard focuses on the Greenbox, the skip size, and we help each other. And literally 2 weeks ago, some sad news that the bloody we had a lithium battery come in at Greenbox, caught fire, and it's probably done over £1 million worth of damage down there.
That's crazy.
But do you know what? Again, me and him side by side, we was there till 2 o'clock in the morning with all the firefighters, and we just put our arms around each other and went, "What more can we actually go for together?" It's just another chapter in your life.
That's
you know?
it. No one was hurt, were they?
No, nobody was hurt.
No.
Business was still running. I'll give Richard his due. The next day, I was down there and I was helping clean the yard. Richard was running all, helping clean up, but running all the lorries still.
Brilliant.
And still that day, we'd done 136 skips in one day with a facility that was closed basically because the fire brigade wouldn't let us in the place. And we was storing them on back of lorries. We was using a friend's yard to put them down where we parked the lorries. He was just putting them down. I was ringing people, can I have some help? And do you know what? We just clubbed together. And
I love that.
It was actually, it's nice to support him in that lot because he can't do all this on his own.
No, it's a monster as well now, isn't it? It's a big company now, isn't it?
But again, we've been through some amazing times. So he's still down there. I've now got Midas. I've got Sonia. Sonia Cragg has been with me now in business for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Left Country Style again. Didn't get on very well there with the new management. Left, and what I was doing. Silly me at the time, obviously, because I didn't really want to get into business again. But I was going to see loads of people I know in this industry, and I was going to one man. I was going, "Hey James, I've got this great sales and marketing director. She's brilliant. Then I was going, I've got this lady in Brighton. I've got this driver." And she just said to me one day, "What? We're like a football team. We're like the El Galactico here. Why do you want to split us up?" And I thought, so do you know what? She just went off. I introduced her to Richard. I was on a non-compete. I couldn't get involved.
No.
Richard helped her, got her started off. As soon as my non-compete was over, the next day, I was in the saddle, and we've just not looked back.
Not looked back. No.
One lorry after another, and
amazing.
Good contact. I now know how to set this business up.
Yeah.
I now know what to do, what not to do.
Got the blueprint.
What technology to use, what IT system to use, what wayloaders to use, what cameras to use, because I've had the T-shirt.
Done it.
Now, you know,
You've done it.
So I'm finding it really, really enjoyable now.
Good.
Really
That's important though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You've done all the sweat and tears.
And I brought Sonia in, and now she owns shares in the business.
Yeah,
she's got a real incentive. She's got a real drive.
Love that.
Such a clever lady.
I
Love
think
being
that's really important,
in business
Jamie.
with her and Richard. Like, it makes a great. I've got Crazy Richard, and I've got organised structure.
organised
Sonia,
structure.
you know what I mean?
I think it's really
structured.
important, the yin and the yang, and we'll talk about that quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
But I think that's also nice that you bring in somebody that you value on the journey.
Trust.
And
trust
you trust.
is a massive thing in business.
Yeah.
You've had it. We said it about the black book of lies, drivers, people stealing off you. I've still on my video. I'm still on my phone today. I've still got videos of someone who was really, really close to me. His wife was my PA anyways. I lent them the deposit. Me and Richard gave them the deposit on their first house to pay us back. They couldn't get finance on a car. We bought them a car.
Oh my God.
And then eventually someone tips me off that her husband at the time, who's driving one of our lorries, is stealing diesel off us.
Oh my God.
You know, back in them days. And me personally, I think it was 3-4 o'clock in the morning, was laying up on this garage roof because someone told me where he does it, this certain job in London, just outside of London. And there I was laying on the garage, videoing him, watching him. I didn't have to jump off there, chuck him in the back of the dust cart himself, but I was collating all the evidence. And I just think then, you know, you start realising you can't trust anybody.
No,
and
can't.
I think
It's a shame though, isn't it?
I say I shouldn't say it like that. I shouldn't be really, because I do trust people.
Yeah, me too.
But I think one of the biggest kick in your balls in business is when someone you really think you've got it right.
Oh, great.
I've had a lady on a weighbridge once, was the quietest, sweetest old lady sitting on a weighbridge window for me at a transfer station. And for years, Beardo, she was slipping 20s and 50 quids and nobody knew it. Do you know why? Because never would you ever, if you had to bet your house on it, I'd have said never. That dirty driver or that bastard, you had all you thought was one. And I think that day was a massive learning curve that you've just got to stop trusting, not in a nasty way, but just look at everybody that you've just got to be careful.
You have got to be very careful.
Someone's got to check the checker. That's
I
what I
agree.
do at football. I do it at Bearstead.
Yeah.
Leslie always says to me, "You're right, aren't you? Leslie, I love you to pieces. Deal with the money, but I want someone to check that to give you peace of mind that someone can go, well, the only one person with the money is X.
Exactly.
No, it's not, because Y checks it.
Checks it.
Check the checker.
I
Someone check the
totally
checker.
agree. And you know what? I would say that again to anyone that's listening is that don't just assume.
Yeah.
Don't ever assume.
Give them peace of mind.
Exactly
Somebody
that.
doesn't want that responsibility sometimes. I don't want all that money or cash or whatever it is going on.
Yeah, I agree. You could again write a book over how many people have done this to you.
Yeah.
And I'm no fool. But I employed a friend.
Yeah.
A friend who begged me for a job.
Yeah.
You know, like said,
That's it.
you know, he wasn't skilled.
Yeah.
He wasn't, but he had the work ethic. So I thought, you know what, and he's a friend.
Yeah.
I've had a few of them, and I was like, yep, do you know what, I'm going to give him a job.
Yeah.
I'll give him a job.
Yeah.
Persuaded my business partner. He was a little bit more, don't know him, but we took him on.
Have a go.
Went on, and then one day my business partner came into the office and he said, Paul, he says, come in here. He says, come and have a look at this email. I said, what's up? He said, one of our clients has emailed us and said that such and such has approached them and wanted to work. And I'm like, what? Like, he's still working for us.
Yeah.
Still working for us, using our vans, all the things. So I've gone, right, okay, bring him in.
Yeah.
So we brought the pair in because it was a pair.
Yeah.
They even had an Instagram page, right? They were operating with all our equipment in the Instagram on this page.
Yeah.
Sat them down, and I had to be held back because I jumped over the desk.
Yeah.
Because
a
it was
lot of that
personal.
is jealousy as well. Do you know?
It is, mate. It is.
Yeah.
And do you know what? The arrogance of him.
Yeah.
Oh, the arrogance.
They think they deserve that.
Yeah.
They think that. And again, my dad always used to say to me, because when I was young, when I was doing all that work in them sweepers, I'll never forget it. I had a Mercedes 190 Mercedes work, right? All my other mates had the Fiestas and that, and this was a different level. And a body kit on it. I remember it coming from Drake and Fletcher's in Maidstone. And I had it on finance. It was £299 a month. Never forget it. £299 a month. It was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
But I was working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, this is when I was at it. And I spent my money on a car, which at the time, Christ, I tell my kids now you're crazy.
Yeah, of course.
We do it. And I remember my dad always saying to me then, this car was so chuffed. He said, you are going to lose so many friends. Be prepared for this. And I thought he was, I said, no, shut, I'm going to gain friends. They're all going to want to go in my car. Do you know what? Even, they always say many a true word said in jest.
Yeah.
The amount of people that used to dig me for it or take the piss out of me. And I never drank when I was young. Never, ever drunk. Yeah. I was always in there and I'd be on the cokes and that sort of stuff. They're all on their pints, getting pissed, probably spending £299 a month.
Easily.
In a month on drink.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't. I used to say that to them. And when they were on Saturday, Sunday, all talking, meeting up the pub, watching football night, like I was out grafting.
Yeah,
I'd bring the skip lorry to football, pull up, bring me football bag out the bloody skip lorry to go and play football.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or out of the sweeper at the time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
You just, that's how. So the green-eyed monster in business is one thing that you'll always.
I agree.
And
me and Lee talked about that.
Yeah.
I actually talked about it to Craig as well, and probably everyone, Jamie, is that they're waiting. I find it fascinating since I've done this. Like I always knew they were there, but they're on their purchase ready. They want you to fail. Yeah. They want you to.
You'll lose.
They're there.
You don't forget about them.
I do.
You soon grow up to know you don't need a big.
No,
circle.
You don't.
You're bigger your circle, the more the ag that comes with it, if I'm being honest. The more money you got, the more people you've had to lend to it.
Yeah.
Mate, I can't even tell you the amount of people I lend money to.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I know.
And I want to do it because I want to help
people.
But sometimes it hurts. Do you know what I mean? You just think, really? It
does.
Really?
Because again, going on that is that I'm the same. I've done the same. And my wife tells me all the time, as I've said on podcasts, is you're too nice. Yeah. You know, like even in business, like I can be the nice guy. And I was talking about this the other day, is that I like to be nice because then I understand them, so I can get to know them. Yeah. But not everyone's on the same. No. Not everyone's. People are there to shaft you. And again, I've lent employees money. I've even, at Christmas where we're part of a group and the bonuses get cut, and I've given them out my own pocket because I feel like it's the right thing to do. My wife's sitting there going, Paul, come on.
You can never give them enough.
Give me 2 seconds of your time. Just want to say again a massive thank you. Please listen to this message. It's really important to me. And I know it affects so many people. Thank you. My experience with ADHD is real. It's affecting thousands of children across the UK every day. But too often our schools overlook the signs, labelling kids destructive, lazy or unmotivated. The truth, these students aren't failing. The system's failing them. We need to be vigilant. Teachers, parents and leaders must recognise the signs, offer support and fight for every child's right to learn in a way that works for them. Because when the schools ignore ADHD, we're not just letting the kids down, we're holding them back. Let's do better.
I agree. But again, when you've given someone something, or you've given their first leg out, they buy their first house, and then you realise they've been stealing off you, think, why did I deserve that?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
that's
but they've got to live with that now. They've got to live with that. So,
yeah.
And karma comes around.
It
karma,
does.
I believe in great karma.
It does,
and
mate.
I think that's why I do nice thing. If there was one point, and I was speaking to Nicola, we was on holiday last week, and she said, what's the one thing that you think you've got to try? I said, I've got to try not to say yes and want to help.
Me too.
But I'll drive down the motorway, I see someone on the side of the motorway, I punch and I think, if I didn't have my good gear on it, I'd probably stop giving her a hand. Or then I don't want to do it because it's a woman and she'll think I'm a nonsense.
I'm exactly the same.
I read stuff on Facebook and everyone goes, anybody got a van that can pick up something for me? I don't even know this, but I think, one of my blokes could go and pick that up for them. And I just help people.
That's the same as me.
But do you know what? I actually enjoy doing it.
You can't change who you are.
I can't.
And I don't want to.
I'm not going to.
And I don't want to.
And I might do it too much. Perhaps I do. And sometimes, like you say, the ones you always help always comes around bites.
It does, mate. But you can't change the way you are.
I don't care, honestly.
And do you know what? You enjoy the way you are, right?
I do.
And listen, there's not enough of you. And I'm the same. My wife always constantly tells me, and it's not because she doesn't like being nice. It's more the fact that she doesn't like me getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that's I seem to get it sounds really like, oh, poor me, but it's not that. It's more of you always seem to get let down in some kind of manner. Not, if there's 100 people, there'll be 2 of them that let you down. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of, but I'd say in business wise, I said the other day, I'd probably on my hand say to you, well, they're the people that I'd take with me to the next one.
Exactly how. That's how mine is set up.
That's it.
You'd look at them and go, Yeah, I love you, and that's how it is. You know what, drivers play the game. You know, you've got all the excuse. You think, do you know what? I don't, again, you're thinking about that small fruit bowl.
Yeah.
You are a little bit rotten, and if you're going to come to me, you're gonna set a precedent. I can't have that.
You can't have flies around.
You start picking a little bit more, but that's I think that's just life how it is.
But it's good to be positive, and I think you know that's the way you are. I know that's the way you are. So I see it all the time, and obviously you've gone on from strength to strength, and everything you've done and everything you've grafted hard. You know the morals.
Now it's time to enjoy it really. If I'm being honest.
Good.
And I love to work. And I think if you said to me, what's the one thing with any new person thinking about a business, I've told you the work ethic. You've got to work hard. You've got to graft. If you think it's going to be easy, and you're not going to be up there to the middle of the night worrying about it or prepping up for the next, or whatever it is, working 6, 7, 8 days a week, it doesn't matter.
No,
but it's got to be an obsession.
I agree.
And I'm sorry,
I'm with
Beardo, I'll go in a restaurant and I've got an entourage of kids. You know, I've got so many bloody kids now, it's unbelievable. My dinners are not cheap.
No.
So when I'm sitting in that restaurant, I'm a family business now, and I talk to this family business, and if I can't quote for their waste in that restaurant, I won't go in that restaurant and eat in there. And she goes, but I love that. It's my favourite restaurant. I go, I don't care. If he's not got the audacity to at least invite me in so we can have you're a family business, I'm a family business. We should be working together because I'm walking in your gaff spending 500 quid. Why can't you at least have a pink wheelie bin in the back of your yard then?
That's a great
the ones that have my bin, I'll go and support them.
Yeah.
I'll go to Emily and Emily was a great story. Messaged her on Facebook. Lovely to see you, James. Can I help you with your waste?
I see.
Didn't realise it was causes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And
And love Jamie. He's my man crush. I love Jamie. He's fantastic.
He's a good guy.
Emily, she brought it on. She introduced me to people on the green. I started getting more work. I got the oak on it. And that's just how...
That's how it should be.
So when we had little meetings, I'd go in the Fed and I'd have my coffee because I say thank you for picking a pink bin. Now I'll spend money in here with you. My kids all go in there now. And one of my daughter-in-law, she works up there, same as he works up at the golf course.
That's it.
So that's how it should be.
It should be, Jamie.
Work together on
it should be. We need more of that. And I think that's people like... Even with this, you know, I've asked a few people locally at the beginning, like before. Now I don't have to because it seems like it just flows in. And I get some people are nervous with it. You know, I remember, you know, speaking to yourself, weren't you? And you was like, I've never done that before, Beardo. But fair play to you. You've done it. But there's also people that you go, you know, I've got this show, and they'll sit back and go, oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Now that's fine. And again, I'm not judging them for that. But obviously, that's the same as in business in general. Is that some people will sit there and go,
people like that.
Yeah, you do. You need people.
Sometimes I rein Richard in.
Yeah.
Sometimes Richard pulls me that way when we're going because he'd take risk and I go, that's too risk. Okay, yeah. And we plant seeds with each other. Yeah. You do need that.
You do that.
Yeah. You know, when one thing at any waste, I would worry over everything. And he just used to say, don't worry. Let me worry about the figures. You get them skips out, run that yard, get that done. I'll worry about this. And it just used to.
I know.
Used to work.
It's weird that because I was the same.
Yeah.
I'd worry about the numbers, and he would be the ops, and he'd be like, "Don't worry, we're just going to go and get it." I remember when we got knocked. First ever time we got knocked by a plumbing company, and they just shut their phones off, and we were like, first ever time we couldn't afford to lose a pound.
No, exactly.
It was only 20 grand at the time, but 20 grand was like £1 million. It's relative at the time. And I remember him just picking up the phone. He got hold of the phone. He got hold of the people that were going to get the work, who basically needed someone. He rung them up and he was like, "We'll do this, we'll do that." We earned the 20 grand back. Putting it on a job. Yeah. And he was so good at that. And then I was the one who worried about that. I'll be the one who checked the bank. Because that's how we operated. We didn't have all these sheets everywhere. We'd just go, well, we're cash rich. We know that we got cash in it and we'll just keep getting the work in. And that's how we work.
Our business was like a bucket. We just pour it in the top, use a flood out the bottom, try and plug that hole,
That's it.
Quick, we need some more in the bucket. And that's how
I didn't know what a KPI was, and I didn't know that we profit margins and all that. That was irrelevant. It didn't matter. We just kept it was like keep getting the work, and obviously you learn on the way. But I can vouch for that. We were very yin and yang. He was ruthless. People were scared of him. And I was the one who was nice and fluffy. And it works, doesn't it?
Good cop, bad cop.
It does, mate. It does. So obviously, what's your plans next?
Well, I just want to keep organically grow Midas. I love that now. I love the branding.
Yeah, it's great branding. Who come up with the pink?
Do you know what I did?
Did you?
I've got to say, it's been one of my favourite colours.
Love it.
I remember wearing a pink jumper once to work, and a guy in accounts stood in the door and he went, "There's some men in the world that can wear pink, and there's some men that can't." He said, "I'll give it to you, you can wear pink." And I
Fair
was like,
play.
"I'll take that one,
take
right?"
that.
I just always loved it. And do you know what, though, Beardo? I just want to be different.
Yeah, good.
A dust cart is probably the most stinkiest, horrible, rotten machine you'll ever get by, apart from a cesspit tanker. I just want, if 10 white dust carts drove past you, you wouldn't even blink an eye. One of my lorries drives past you. It's bright pink. It's magenta pink.
Yeah,
it looks, people must look and go.
Stands out on LinkedIn, stands out everywhere, mate.
Absolutely. So I think in business, again, one of the biggest learning curves is marketing, branding. If you're proud of your brand, get it out there, put it on your livery, put it on, you know, get it wherever you can. And our motto is we're going to paint Kent pink, and that's we say it. And I want people to think of waste, they think of me. When they think of pink, they think of me, and it's just got that. So for me, I want to organically grow that.
Yeah, brilliant.
I want to invest in my children now. My kids are now at that age; they're at a lovely age. Yeah. You know, a great story was Jacob, my oldest son's now 24. He was working for a recruiting agency. It was in November.
Yep.
He come round home. He looked really down. He's very positive, good looking, tall lad. Jacob, lovely lad. Got a good persona about him. He just looked down. I said, "What's up? You all right? You okay?" And he said, "Dad, do you know what? Recruiting, I'm done with it." He said, "Dad, I must make 100 phone calls. I'm excited if 2 of them engage with me. I then email them a quote or a proposal, and then I'm chasing them for another 2 weeks where they ghost me." He said, "No, do you know what? I'm burnt out."
Yeah, I agree.
And I said to Sonia about it, I said, "Look, I know he's my son. I'm not sure if it's going to work. What do you think about getting Jacob on board?" And she said, "Yeah, let me interview him." She knows Jacob since he was a baby. She's grown up with him. Interviewed him. She said, "Jamie, it'd be a breath of fresh air. What a great, let's get him in," and that looked like. And I didn't put him on massive salary. I put him on a commission basis. I had to go and graft work. But it was lovely, and I'm now I've got my cousin working for me. I've got family, but he was my son, so it's family business now. Do you know what I mean? It's a real incentive. And he's been with me for just under 2 years, and I just noticed, like when I'm in the restaurant and I'm talking to the manager because I want his bins, and I'm out bin spotting, and if I post it, it's about my bins and my business. Never really got that from Jacob, and I just sat him down one day. I said, "I know I'm obsessed with it. But why are you a little bit, why do you not feel the same as me?" "Dad, I love it." He said, "But all I've ever wanted to do, and all I dream about all the bloody time, is I want to design my own brand." And I said, "Okay." So he bought his camera, a bit like one of your cameras, lovely camera, bought it out of his own money, started doing a bit of PR stuff for his friends, and he was doing it free, and then he got invited in. Then he started doing people were sending him a few tracksuits, and he was doing, not an influencer, but he was basically doing a little promo video, sending it back to him. He's earning 50 quid here, 100 quid there, or something like that. And he really enjoyed it. I could see him, and when he posted, it was about his fashion, not about the business. And I think I was being a bit selfish. I just wanted him to feel the passion that I did.
Yeah, of course.
So he told me about the brand, and I said, "Well, I'll tell you what you do. Why don't we set up a little business?" His sister is a professional singer. She works part-time. She's got a few days a week available. I said, "Why don't you give your sister a little bit of work to do? Why don't we set up a brand on the side? I'll finance it and that. I'll give you a little bit of money. We'll start up a little company, get your sister doing a bit, but do it for a weekend. You've got Monday to Friday Midas, 5:30 finishes. You can go and do your brand, do what you want to do. But you've got to give me your attention Monday to Friday." He says, "Love that, Dad." See his eyes light up. Started it, set it up, put a bit of money in there. Nothing, no wages. I said, "No, you're not taking wages out of it. Nothing like that. It's just sitting there." And he said, "Oh, there's a suppliers festival at the Excel. We're going to go up, and then basically it's that you walk in and it's full of all the Chinese and Indian suppliers where everyone buying all this. Some of them are Victoria's Secret, some of them are Next, some of them are it's massive." So I said, well, look, book a day off, me, you and your sister. We'll have a day in London, and we'll go around and let's go and meet some of these suppliers you want to talk about. So I genuinely thought, we'd walk in, it'd be going walking around woods. I like that T-shirt, I like that jumper, like that. And he put his lanyard on, and we walked through the door, and they scanned his lanyard, Beardo, and I saw him, something in him light up. Yeah. And I thought, and he had his pad out and he had his notebook there and
Yeah,
he's got his
love it.
iPad and he starts walking. I had 2 hours in there, and I was gobsmacked.
Was you?
My daughter looked at me and went, Dad, he knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Look at him. And he's engaging with them. He's got templates. He's talking about minimum orders, what fabrics, what. And I'm thinking,
Wow.
how did he know all this? I thought he
Wow.
was just going to come up
Yeah,
and pick a t-shirt up. And I got home that night and I lay there and I kept thinking, I'm holding him back. I can't ingrain pink into that boy.
No.
I can't make him love pink wheelie bins.
No.
It's a shit bin.
It's
It's the industry.
yeah.
It's shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
rubbish. It's what we all look after. I've lived and breathed it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the obsession I've got with Midas, my Jacob's got with
Yeah, I agree.
his branding, clean.
Yeah, it's passion.
And you can't replace that.
No, you can't.
That will make that man a wealthy man one
Yeah,
day.
good.
And he's at and so what I've done, I've actually compromised him out of the business.
Right.
I sat him down, so I've got some good news and bad news. I'm going to let you go. That's the bad news. But the good news is I'm going to invest in this business and you no wages. So you've got no wages. This is just for the material,
build.
Yeah. I said, he's just had a little baby, bless him. He's living with his
Congratulations.
girlfriends. Absolute beautiful.
Amazing.
Granddad.
Well done.
And he's got 2 years where her mum and dad have said you can live here for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I said, you've got the first opportunity in your life. I know babies don't have to be expensive,
No.
I said, but you've got a little bit of money coming in. He's doing a bit of modelling and stuff like that with his
Love
own.
that.
And he's had to go from earning a salary to almost down to living
Yeah.
50, 100 quids here, there and everywhere. And there's so much part of me, Beardo, wants to go, don't worry, boy,
yeah.
look, I'll look after you.
Yeah.
No way.
No.
I want him to feel that because like when I sit here, his story will be he was going to go and work for Every.
Oh,
I bought
really?
him a little old van. It was £1,000 old van.
Yeah.
Bought him a little van. He was going to go and work for Every and do a delivery. They sent him to Lewisham. He went, Dad, I can't do this. I
Not
can't. I'm
Lewisham.
sorry. I went, you ain't
Yeah,
doing it, boy.
that's all- yeah.
That's a bad move.
That's a bad
good,
place.
good that you wanted to go out there and have a go.
Yeah.
And then he's just literally been to Marbella for 4 days. They
Has
took him
he?
modelling, paid for his whole flights.
Love it.
A brand. It's not the money.
No.
It's not it keeps the clothes. Ain't the clothes. It's the network he's built.
Yeah, he's building
And he's
it.
talking like me, and I see
Love
it in
it.
him. And when he talks about it, he's got a real spring in his step.
Has he?
That's all you need. So the moral of the story is, it don't matter where you start. It don't matter if you get the right job, the wrong job. Meet the right people.
I agree.
Get in that network of people and think, I like I like his car and his
Yeah.
what I want. If it's materialistic things, I want. If I'm family or wherever it is,
I totally agree.
drive and be around the right people.
I know. I'm so happy that like he's following his passion. And do you know what?
What's the worst thing if it goes wrong? It don't matter.
It don't matter.
In 2 years' time, you shit yourself because
Yeah.
then you've got to get a flat and you've got to pay some money. You'll have to go back on and do it.
Exactly. This goes back to what you said earlier. It's like failing, right? If it fails, right? We talk about this on another podcast that I've been listening to recently. Is where you should write your fails down, your failures down. If you keep an eye on your failures, because it actually encourages you not to do it again. And also, you can pick things up from not failing a lot.
You should be proud to fail.
I was about to say,
Have a go.
because you've had a go. And there's a lot of
Sit
people.
there, talk to Richard Branson. See how many times he failed. Look what he did right and wrong.
Exactly that. And they talk about Apple and they talk about the big brands, that how many times they've tried to do something, the Googles of the world that have tried to do something and failed. And look, you never hear about it, but they fail more than you can imagine.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing. And so has he got a brand? Is there a brand?
Yeah, he's got a brand now. It's called Clean. He literally today just sent over new tracksuits and new caps.
Amazing.
That he's got his first little batch come through.
Love it.
He's now got to sit down and he's putting his little business plans together. And I'm making him basically. I think another learning curve for everybody is I like to say to people, find a problem and tell me what you think the solution is.
Yeah.
Don't keep coming to me for the solution.
No, I agree.
I can tell you how to, move that, do that, soon that, sell that, do that, whatever. But tell me where you feel it, because people learn so much better. And you could, and then, you've done really well there. But imagine if you changed that and bought that and that. Oh, right, yeah, I see. So you make them feel like they're really doing it. And I've said to him, right now you've got your samples back. He's buzzing about the sample. He's making tiny little changes. Now I need to know about numbers, what you're buying, what you're selling, what colour, and then I'll sit with you and talk to you. So you go away this weekend, put it all together. So I'm there as a little bit of advisor,
Of course.
but someone I think
that's right.
loving bouncing off. But
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, this is the youth of today.
Yeah.
They've got social media. We never had all this. You
No.
know, you've got a free platform
AI.
now of all of it.
I mean,
It's crazy,
honestly, if I'd
isn't
had AI, I'd have been a genius.
Well,
My God.
I've probably been put away for prison. I've been locked up for years with some of the
I'd
stuff
have
that
broken into
we got-
NASA and
yeah.
I'd have been no. But I, like for me, like I love that, and I give my daughters the same advice as well. You know, they both got different passions, and I said I drive my youngest to school every day.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm not working, so it's easy for me at the moment. And I drive her every morning, and we have a chat, and I try to give her advice always.
Yeah.
You know, some mornings we'll have a sing song, but most of it's advice. And I always say, you know, follow your passion first, because there's nothing worse than being in something that you don't
As
like.
long as they're happy.
Yeah, and do you know
Honestly, it
what?
does my name.
I kind of like that's.
I
kind
don't
of,
want them to be stressed out.
No, I don't.
I don't, honestly.
I don't. And going on to that, mate, is that if you could look back and look at yourself, your younger self, right, and go, oh, what do I regret?
No, I'm not
you
gonna
don't
tell-
have
I'm not
regrets?
going to answer that. No,
No?
there's no
Good.
regrets.
I love that.
think the heaviest weight you can carry in your life
Is a regret.
and that's what would have happened with Jacob.
Yeah, I agree.
He'd regretted working for me for 5 years, and I had
Yeah.
all these dreams, and I said to him about, you know, one day if ever you could buy me out or you
Yeah.
could start another business. I don't want him ever regretting that he never had a go at his own.
Nah, well done.
Don't ever regret anything.
No, I love
there's
that.
There's no answer to that.
'Cause you take it with
I
you,
wouldn't
don't
even
you?
look back and go, you
Good.
should have done that. You should
No,
have done that.
go
Because I'm
forward.
a man who looks about tomorrow.
I love that.
I don't look what's behind me. Nothing we can do about an hour ago. Everything that I've got control of is
Yeah.
now in front of me. You can learn from it.
Of course.
Don't keep making the same mistake.
No,
I will say
well, you're a
that.
fool.
Don't make the same mistake.
If you keep making them same
100%.
mistakes.
100%.
I know plenty of people that do that, and they're fools.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Look, and if you could give, or you've gave the advice of the work ethic, is there anything that's a must in business apart from work?
Listen, there's a lot of them. It is your work ethic. It's top of it.
Yeah.
If you give me 2 seconds of your time, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for following me so far. Without you, the listeners, this wouldn't be possible. I just want to ask you something directly. If this podcast has given you anything, a story that hit home, a moment that made you think, a guest who reminded you why you started, please follow and show and share it with somebody. I mean that genuinely. Every person who follows brings it closer to someone else who hasn't found it yet. Every share puts it in front of someone who might need it. Without that, this stays small. Without it, I can bring better guests, more stories, and keep this alive. Please make sure you press that follow and share. This truly will help. Again, thank you for listening to Underdog to Owner.
Hard work. If you're not prepared to sacrifice your nights out, your days, your whatever it is that you've got booked, if you're not prepared to sacrifice that, that's the first thing. Then don't bother. I think it's got to be an obsession. And the word I keep using probably throughout this podcast is obsession. You have got to eat, sleep and breathe this. You've got to lay there overnight thinking about this business. So make sure that you've got the work ethic and the obsession. And the rest of it really follows. Now, I think it's very important, don't cut corners. If you've got 2 software packages and one's a little bit more expensive, but it can go that extra mile, just find that money to purchase that extra. You know, don't try and cut corners on that side of it. I think that's very, very important. Get a good team around you, people that understand you, overqualified people. There's no such thing as overqualified. No. Get good people. Get that work ethic involved. Middle management for me is key. Listen, I'm sure when you're first starting your first business, you wouldn't even be thinking about selling. Now, later on in life, you get to that element where you think, I can start this business, I can build it, and I can either keep it and it become a lifestyle business, or I sell it and it becomes a valuable asset for me. But the key is middle management. If they take you out, the last thing people want to come in and go, okay, Bid, I'm buying your business now. You've got 5 to 6 vans on the road, whatever it is.
Yeah.
How does your operation work? And if all you sit there going, well, it's all about me and I run it all and I tell them what to do and I do this, they're like, well, what do we do when Beardo leaves?
Yeah.
What do I do when I pay you a check and off you go? That's no good to anybody.
No.
So you've got to say almost, I don't get involved. Listen, the guys come in, they deal with my middle management, whether that's he, she, whoever it is in that office. All my team there, they deal with all that. They only need to come in once or twice a week.
Yeah, of course.
It's music to their ears.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when they cut you out the equation, the business still carries
goes
on
on.
running. They don't want to hear about a big cheese and it's all about me. That's not what doesn't work. So for me, I think that's the right thing. Get an understanding, a good accountant. The amount of people I talk to, and they're frustrated with their accountants or their tax and etc. And when you're starting out, the last thing you need is some poor advice from an accountant. So again, please make sure that you've got an accountant that is one of us, really talks out. There's black, there's white in accountancy, and there's a little bit of grey in the middle. So without breaking the rules, you want the right accountant that helps you to promote and encourage your business to grow.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think they're the key elements.
Yeah,
really,
I think middle management,
not...
Jamie, I touch on that a little bit, is I left my business and it fell apart.
Yeah.
And exactly the reason, because they never put middle management in.
Yeah.
Because they look at it as a cost. But what you're doing is you're saving them in the long run. Yeah. Like you say, once you take this me or you out of a business, you're everything else, basically there's just staff. Yeah. If they haven't got middle management, they can't take over and they can't lead like we lead. Yeah, you need them there. I think it's one of the most important.
Your business is a bus. If you're driving your bus and they buy the driver and the driver goes, who's driving the bus?
Who's driving the bus? Yeah.
So sit in the back.
Yeah.
Get off the bus at the next stop, cash your check and let the bus carry on going.
It's true though.
See it.
It's true. And like you say, a good accountant, I'm with you on that. I think, like I say, I've had a good and I've had the bad. And I've noticed a difference.
I could tell you some amazing stories, but you know, I know when it's right.
Yeah, of course.
When they've got your back.
Yeah.
They talk to you in a manner, you know, they understand how academically clever you are. Yeah. And they can put it down in simple terms just to show you what you should and shouldn't be doing. I like that.
That's a big thing, isn't it? Because if you like, there's a lot of accountants that can talk in code. Like, you know, there's some clever...
Tie you up in knots.
Yeah. It's a bit like solicitors, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know what? If you're not sure, go and get some advice. Go and get a second opinion.
I agree.
You can sit with an accountant and a good accountant would say to you, he's doing a great job and what he's telling you is correct. Carry on with him. You think, at least I checked.
100%.
Check the checker, what we're saying earlier.
Yeah, checker, isn't it? It's true. That is true. Yeah, I think it's the same as like a lawyer and advice from... Like, I've been in some sticky situations and then you go and get the advice from a lawyer and it kind of clears that up as well. So there's that as well. But I think that's good advice, mate, if I'm honest with you. I like it's sound advice, and anyone that's listening, and anyone starting a business or is at that moment where they think they could want to sell, get that middle management. Yeah. That's right, isn't it?
Go with your gut. We said that earlier. Yeah. Go with your gut feel. Yeah. Sometimes there's no right or wrong answer. No. It's how you feel inside. And if you've got a good person around you, it will promote that business. You'll
sound advice, mate. And obviously, look, the most important thing out of all of this is the journey that you've had and the people that you'd like to thank. I think that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, look, of course, I'd be here for days if I really had to think about my whole life all the way through. You know, going back to my mum and dad times and what I've said at the beginning. I hated my dad at one stage. Now I love him for what he's made me and grafted. My sister's a massive part of my life. You know, she's a very positive person. Hasn't got a lot in life, but she gives a lot. Great person. Richard again was in business. I've got Sonia and Richard now in business. Two totally different characters, but you know, I love working with a pair of them. Brilliant. You know, we've got a total yin and yang there. And like I say, Sonia now running my business. She puts up a lot from me every day. I'm a bit all over the place sometimes, like I say, with a bucket full of what I've got, ADHD and all the bits and pieces with me. And so she's amazing. She runs a good tight ship, and it makes me even more prouder of my business because when she switches it on, she can really make my business shine. Do you know what I mean? She makes it amazing, really, really good. And listen, I think most of I want to thank you to my kids. My kids have been amazing. I've been through a divorce like most people. I've been through some bad times. My kids have always stuck with me no matter what, and still to this day they're still my best friends. Oh, nice. Now with Nicola, with my new children, I've got entourage of children, and I love every one of them. Do you know Brilliant. That they make me happy. You understand that? Yes. When you're happy, that's why I say I go to work every day, and it doesn't faze me. I'm enjoying work. Do you know what I mean? And most of all, listen, it's Nicola now, my good lady. She's been a rock for me. Absolute amazing. You know, I've just loved the fact that if I went home now and I said, "Oh, me and Beardo, I've got this great idea, we're gonna," and she'd just sit there and go, "Just go and do it, do it, love it." And when you've got someone like that in your camp, I'm telling you, you can put a cape on, you take the world on. I truly do believe.
I agree.
So many people that I know have changed their way. They've lived their life, their business, who they worked for, where they've gone in life. They've took a journey because of the partner they're with.
I agree.
Whether it's for the right or wrong way.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of wrongs, but I'd like to say, touch wood, I've got it right. She supports me in everything I do. She's a real grafter. She's like
Positive.
my best friend now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love having her around, all that, my family. I've got what I wanted. I've got a good business, I've got a good lifestyle, and I've got all my children around me. And
Perfect.
They all love each other. We're a blended family now.
Yeah.
We get on amazingly well. My kids and Nicola's kids are just like brothers and sisters now. That's how.
That's amazing.
It really is.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I wanna thank them, and just really anybody really that has been a part of my life.
Yeah,
I always try and give back. I always like to help and stuff like that. But just if you've ever walked into my life, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, do you know what though, Jamie? It's so
whether it's for the right or wrong.
Do you know what?
Even bad stuff.
I totally agree.
Learn from it, don't you?
You do learn from it. I think that's a big thing. These podcasts and that, and the people that I've spoke to, everyone's had a journey.
Yeah.
And when you listen to them, they've all learned from their experiences. Yeah. Well, again, good or bad, and I think that's something that I have. I've had 11 months off. I found myself. Yeah. Like it's taken me nearly 50 years of age to actually know who I really am. But
that's almost where I'm at the moment. In a real happy place. Yeah. I feel good. I'm going to the gym. I feel good about myself. Health is wealth, eat well, look after yourself.
I agree.
That's another great bit of advice in business. Look after number one first.
One home.
Because you're the one who's got to lay there every night worrying, but got to get up like fresh in the morning. And
Spiller said it to me. I remember the first podcast I did, and he said, one house, one home. Yeah. One body. Yeah. Exactly the same principle. You've 100%. Only got that look after yourself. This is it. Yeah. So it kind of like the more I do these, the more I've gone through that 11 months. You just there's moments. I was sitting there with Kate the other night, and I went, I didn't realise this, and she went, oh, I did. Yeah. She knew. Yeah. And that's why you go back to the whole having the perfect partner. We've had our ups and downs, like every relationship does. But if she's happy, I'm happy. Yeah. 100%. If we're happy, I can go and do whatever at work. Absolutely. That don't faze me. Yeah. But if it ain't right at home, my head's not right. So it's kind of the same principle. It's exactly what you're saying.
I know they say that I'd work with her tomorrow. I enjoy being around her. She's got a great attitude, good life. And nothing ever. If I rang her now and said, "Oh, Beardo and the boys are coming around for a bit of dinner," she'll ask you what you want for dinner. She'll have you moaning or making a big issue about it. It's just good. And I think when you've got that sort of support, you need that support.
You do.
And you know what? I do know. There's a lot of people I know in relationships and they're not happy.
No.
And I think, you know what? Give me all the money in the world now, but I think my priorities have changed a lot. Yeah. It's about my kids and my family and Nicola, and we just going to have nice little weekends away and holidays and just enjoy our life a little bit. And
you've learned what's not right. Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing. You can, like we said earlier, is I know so many people that have made mistakes one after the other and keep making the same ones, You've learned from what makes you happy, so that's really important. I think that's great advice.
Business is great. Listen, business. If I'm being honest, I don't mean arrogant. Businesses are easy. You're gonna start a business up tomorrow. Where it goes is down to you.
I agree.
I think one of my biggest achievements, I'll always say it today, is my oldest is 24. Nicola's oldest is 27 now. We've got down to 12 years old. We've got an entourage of children, and I can honestly promise you, every one of them that are in our life will choose to be with us over anything. So if there was a birthday, what do you want to do for your 21st, your 18th, your birthday next week? Oh, can we go out with you guys? Yeah. And I think once you get that back from your children, you've done something right.
I agree.
And I can't tell you what it is.
No, you're so right. My kids are exactly the same. Yeah. They want to spend time with us.
Yeah, I love it.
And do you know what? You're doing something right.
Yeah.
And that's for me. We talked about this again. We've got quite deep the other night, and we was like, "This is a reset." So most of my life, my life's been difficult. Right, to my younger days were difficult. Yeah. And we could have carried on the trend. Kate lost her dad at 17. Got hit by a lorry in America. Right. Yeah. I lost my mum at the age of 24. Never had a dad, right? Yeah. So there's all these things that you can carry on with, right? Yeah. I could quite easily, statistically, I could have carried on being that person that my mum was,
Using that as an excuse.
Exactly. Yeah. What we did, and Kate struggled with her family as well, with addiction and all sorts. We stopped it.
Yeah.
And we went, no, reset. This is a reset. We're going to give our kids the best opportunity.
I am a real big believer in that. And I do say, just because your dad, your mum or someone was a bad person or was a serial killer doesn't develop a serial killer. You know, I think you get to an age in your life where you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what's bad, and you know what's good.
Exactly.
And you can make that decision on, actually, I want to go down the right path.
Exactly that.
And that's you. You can't keep using that life as an excuse, because every story you think you've got, someone will see you and raise you by 10.
Exactly.
And they're probably doing lovely things. You know?
Exactly. And that's what I keep saying to everyone, is that I don't talk about these experiences bar from trying to inspire someone to say you can do it. That's all it's ever been. There's no excuses for me to be the way I've made sure that I'm stopping it.
Draw a line in the sand.
That's it.
And
that's
if
what
you've really got that bad a family tree, my attitude would be, my family tree starts there with me, sitting at the top of the tree, and then let it all branch down. Let your children become nice people and rewrite the book. And who cares whatever went on in your family and stuff?
People stop making excuses. I think that's the biggest one. I've had a lot of people come up to me. I mean, God, in my earlier days, people used to come up to me and go, "Oh, it's all right for you."
Yeah, I've had it all. Yeah,
you
your
know
dad's
what?
helping, your dad's doing that.
You couldn't even
exactly. My shadow, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Life,
but that stuff that makes me even stronger, if I'm really honest with you. But yeah, I wanted to touch on it a little, literally. Is there anything else, Jamie, that obviously you've got to say or want to say?
No, listen, I'd just like to say thank you very much for you for bringing me in. You took 3 or 4 months to talk me into doing it. I'm glad I did it. And do you know what? If anyone can take one little thing away from this, life's not perfect.
No.
Do you know what? You're going to go up and down. But do you know what? If you can just get up every day and just keep grinding and be consistent, you will get what you want. And do you know what? If anybody's listening to this and you write down one goal, just even if it's just for now, write down one goal and keep looking at that goal and just go and do it.
I agree.
You know, my mum passed away not long ago, and I said thank you for everyone for coming. I said, and if everybody knew my mum, she would tell everybody of you in this room now, if you've been thinking about buying a car, booking a holiday, writing a book, whatever it is you were going to do, build that bleeding new garden shed, just do it. Go and do it. And so many people that day come up and went, Jamie, what a great, it was lovely. Your mum was lovely. Yeah. We're going to do it. And I remember one woman come up, she went, Jamie, thank you so much for that. Bob's booking a holiday to Australia. We've been talking about it for 2 years. She said, and thank you so much. And I think, do you know what? That's what you got to do. If you can just aspire one, but they're going to have the holiday of their lifetime. Really?
Yeah.
Find the money. Work. Just do it.
But
it'll happen.
That's great. And again, that is great advice. I would always say that if there's something that you've got to do or want to do it. We ain't here a long time, are we, mate?
No, we're not.
And that's it. So I'll look, again, just to reiterate, this has been so positive and it's been an honour to have you with and tell your story and your journey. Because for me, and again, it was like, come on, trying to get your ear. Because I get it. Like it's an uncomfortable situation. But when people sit there, it feels like it just feels like you're talking to a mate.
Talk to mates,
and that's what I wanted. I've loved every minute of it, and I really have. You make me smile, which is a positive thing, and I love the fact that you found your feet with your relationships and your life. So look, mate, I'm blessed to have you on. So thank you. Cheers, Jamie.
Cheers.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, Peter.
Cheers, pal.